live stream or roll up a power up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Yeah, y'all missed the blunt for the day. You know what I'm saying? But tap in, tap the fuck in. Man, I'm already 3 blunts in. Y'all the one missed out. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. That's why I'm late. I had to get the roll up on. You know what I'm saying? I had to do them solo. You feel me? Tap in, tap the fuck in. What we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? Well, today I want to walk y'all through this prison process. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. What you mean you want to walk us through this prison process? I want to show you how it go from the time that you come in to the time that you in the middle of doing your time and up to the point when they about to release you. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Okay. So what's the word on it? Well, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's a process to make, and it's probably be the biggest process of your life. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. This was a real life game changer for me. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I changed who I was. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. Hopefully you don't never got to go through this. But if you do, I'm about to walk you through it. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. All right, let's get it. So, I got to start it from the top so it all makes sense. And I'm going to use myself for an example. So that way it don't sound like nothing far fetched or, something made up or nothing like that. I'm going to walk it down how it happened with me. So I'm going to show y'all how this whole process works after you get sentenced, right? All right. Now, you catch a case. You do whatever you do. You catch a case, right? You get locked up. Now you going to court. You going through the process. You got a mate. You fighting for your life. The prosecution fighting against you, right? Okay. Well, you get to this point. Uh, Hold on. D1 Buffs. Can you grab the camera for Lamar Jackson Eddie? I don't know what that means. But all right, so look, you catch the case, you going to court, you going through the process, right? While you going through the process, they offering you pleas, things like that, right? You might get to a point where you say, you know what? Let me go ahead and take this plea deal. You know what I'm saying? CA Productions, what's the deal? Tap in, tap the fuck in. So, like I said, you going through the court process, we just gonna say that, Bird, what's the deal? Tap in, tap the fuck in. All right, now look, just say it get to a point in your case where you decide to take a plea deal because you know that you're guilty. You know they gonna, unveil the truth, and you don't want to get slammed with a lot of time. So just say you take a plea deal, which is what I did. I took a plea deal because I knew I wasn't gonna beat my case. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I was like 6 months in fighting my case, and it was like, yeah, it's a wrap. Take this plea deal, right? Now I was trying to beat my case. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't really have no evidence on me. The only evidence they had on me was they pulled me over in the car. That I committed the crime in type shit. That was the only evidence they had on me. But that was a week later. You know what I'm saying? So I was fighting it back and forth. So basically, when I was in lockup, fighting my case, they was coming at me with plea deals. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to get me to cop out. Because at the end of the day, the system just want your conviction. They don't care about your time. They don't care if you do 60 days in jail or if you do 60 years. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? All they want is your guilty conviction, right? So when they get your conviction, off a plea deal or a jury find guilty, whatever the case is, after they get your plea deal, this is what happened. They sentence you. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you end up going off to prison, right? All right. So when my time came around for my plea deal, right, they offered me two plea deals. My first plea deal was for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? They wanted me to plead guilty to carjacking and armed robbery for 20 years. I said no. I was like, hell no, y'all tripping. You know what I'm saying? So they said, all right, took that plea back. Came back again. They said, all right, we'll offer you 5 years. I said, no, I'm cool on it. So I kept fighting it, right? All right, now they came at me with this last deal. But this deal wasn't made by the prosecution. This deal was made by my lawyer. My lawyer made this deal. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he got them talked down to 27 months, right? By this time, I already got 6 months in. So I was only going to have like a year and a half left to do, you know. So I accepted that plea. I was like, all right, come on with it, because I'm not going to beat this shit. Fuck it. Just come on with it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now I take the plea to 27 months, right? Now this is when it gets started. I just had to break all that down real quick, you know, so you understand how you get to the sentencing point that send you to prison. It's a whole process before you get there. And that's the process you got to make. Now, this is how you get to the big house, right? All right, so you accept the plea or they find you guilty, however it go. Now it's time for you to get sentenced, right? So you get sentenced about a month after you get found guilty. You know what I'm saying? Now you go stand in front of the judge for your sentencing. This is the only time the judge want to hear you speak, or the court. Period. They don't want to hear you talk until your sentencing day. They don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Is all between your lawyer and the prosecution. They do not want to hear you talk. You do not get a right to talk. You're a criminal. You don't get a right to say shit, right? So on your sentencing day, this is the only time you do get to speak. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, here comes sentencing day. I accepted the plea for 27 months, right? So that's what I'm thinking I'm about to get. Now I'm standing in front of this judge for my sentencing day. The judge look over all the paperwork. He say, nah, I don't think that's enough time, for your crime. So 48 months, wow. He basically doubled my time. You know what I'm saying? And I still got off because I had a carjacking. You know what I'm saying? And that's a very violent crime. That's up there with murders and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I got off. So uh, I got 48 months. You know what I'm saying? I was sick as hell because I thought I was only gonna have like a year and a half left, but the judge ended up doubling my shit. And that's another thing. Even though you do accept a plea deal, between you and your lawyer and the prosecution and all of that, you do sign a plea deal or whatever. Just say your plea deal for 5 years. That don't necessarily mean that you're gonna do 5 years. It's up to the judge. The judge can say, nah, that ain't enough time. 20 years. So you could accept a plea for 5 years and the judge can give you 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that because you sign that plea, that's that. It don't work like that. They just saying that that's what they recommend. They recommend you to do that time. This is what they feel comfortable with. But it's ultimately up to the judge. You know what I'm saying? So I get my 4 years, right? All right, I go to prison. Now here it go. Now, when you get sentenced, right, you immediately ride out the very next morning. You know what I'm saying? So you get sentenced today, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. By 4 or 5 a.m., you riding out to prison. You know what I'm saying? Not even 24 hours, they get your ass up out of there. You know? So now you gone, they ride you out. When you in the process of riding out, they wake y'all up, they wake everybody up that's riding out about 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? You gotta brush your teeth, take a quick shower real quick, make sure you got all your belongings, you know, pack your shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you do all that, they walk you, you know, outside the building to the paddy wagon, right? When they walk you to the paddy wagon, they put you in handcuffs. It might be about 7 to 8 of y'all at a time. And that's about how many can fit on the paddy wagon. Like it's structured a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So just say it's you and 7 other guys all shackled together, hands and feet. Y'all all shackled together, right? Just like how it is on the movies and all that. This is real life when you go to prison. You know, some courts they do that when you in jail. You know what I'm saying? But in prison, you getting shackled. You know, now the paddy wagon that they take you to, it's a door behind the truck, a door that they open up like Brinks, you know, when they go pick up money from, you know, the banks and shit like that, and they open that back door. It's the same thing with the paddy wagon. You know what I'm saying? So they open that back door. All 780 y'all gotta jump in that paddy wagon. You know what I'm saying? And y'all all got to sit next to each other. And it's like I said, it's like perfect for like 4 guys on one side, 4 guys on the other side, right? So y'all all getting this paddy wagon. Mind you, y'all all cupped up together. You know, y'all all get in the paddy wagon. They slam the door. Boom. Door slam on you, right? It's no light, no windows. You know what I'm saying? It's just you, a bunch of other guys you probably haven't seen ever in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably been in different parts of the jail, but all y'all got sentenced on the same day. So all y'all ride out at the same time. And all you know is you in the back of this paddy wagon in the dark, shackled up to a bunch of other guys. You know what I'm saying? So while that's going on, the police taking a sweet ass time, you know, checking everybody out and all of that bullshit. This is another thing before you get on that paddy wagon. If you gotta piss or take a shit, you better do it before you leave. Because that paddy wagon ride is at least an hour to the prison that they're gonna take you to. You know what I'm saying? And they don't pull over and stop at no damn Starbucks or no McDonald's for you to hop out and go take a piss or none of that. No, it's a straight ride. You know what I'm saying? And this is a paddy wagon. So it's not like they in the vet and they can do 100 all the way to the prison yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's gonna be a slow ride, but you hit a lot of bumps. You know, they swerving, all type of shit, and you don't know what's going on because you in the dark. You can't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? Well, while that's going on, they hitting bumps, speed bumps, potholes, all type of shit, and that's knocking everybody around like this. You know what I'm saying? So everybody bouncing around in a damn paddy wagon in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, boom, y'all heads bashing into each other, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting concussions in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all heads just clashing together. Like, man, it's crazy on that paddy wagon. You know what I'm saying? But this is the very first thing you go through right after you get sentenced. Like, no lie. You know what I'm saying? C-Wave the Terrible. So there's a political named Anthony Weiner, and he got sent to prison for sending. All right, whatever. Anyway, um, yeah. So this is the process. You know, when you get on that paddy wagon, you know what I'm saying? Um, it's a long ride and is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't know what's gonna happen during this whole ride. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you finally get to the prison, right? They finally open that door to let all y'all out that paddy wagon, right? Everybody get out the paddy wagon. They instantly take you into this building, right? Now, here in Michigan, when you get sentenced from the county jail and go to prison, they send you to Jackson Quarantine. That's your very first pit stop. You go to Jackson Quarantine. You know what I'm saying? So we go to Jackson Quarantine, right? They instantly put us in this room all together, right? They running everybody's name, they processing everybody, they taking pictures of everybody, all of that shit, right? After they do all that, they put us in these cages, right? Cages, real life cages, like in a zoo, where the cages, like real life cages. You know what I'm saying? But the cages is all gates, like gate form cages. You know what I'm saying? They not like bar form, like gorillas and shit like that. It's like gate cages, like you hopping fences, like them type of cages. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like maybe 30 cages in this big ass field. So you see inmates from here all the way down the street, you know what I'm saying? Full of cages, full of people. Everybody is in cages. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how this shit is set up. But this is what happened when you go to prison. You know what I'm saying? They put everybody in cages. You know what I'm saying? So in that cage is one toilet. And that toilet sit in the middle of the floor. So you gotta piss or shit, whatever, you gotta do it in front of everybody. And mind you, it's cages all around you. So niggas in different cages can see you pissing, shit, and whatever. Like that's just what it is. And the same thing, you see people in their cages doing the same thing, man. It's like a circus for real. You know what I'm saying? So you sit in the cage for maybe about an hour or two, depending on their processing. You know what I'm saying? Now they let you out the cage and they bring you back into the building. They bring you back into the building and now they processing you in. You know what I'm saying? Now, when they process you in, they they strip you butt naked, right? Butt naked. No, not to your drawers, your jock strap, your Under Armour, none. Take all that off, everything. You know what I'm saying? So you get butt naked, right? And they got about 10 cops standing around you, men and women, all cops, real talk. Now, when you in the county jail, they call deputies. When you get to prison, they call COs, correctional officers. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these COs looking at you because you in the big house now. You didn't got sent to prison. You they got sentenced. You done took that paddy wagon. You here in quarantine. You in prison now. So these is COs. They not deputies no more. You can't even call them deputies. They will get on your ass for calling them deputies. There's a difference between deputies and COs. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay. Now these COs is looking at you ass naked. You know what I'm saying? Now you in the room with all these COs, about like I said, about 10 of them, no lie. Men and women. They all standing around looking at you. You is an experiment to them. You know what I'm saying? So they analyzing you from head to toe. You know what I'm saying? They want to watch your dick go from soft to hard. You know what I'm saying? Like they analyzing everything about you. They asking you certain questions to see how your stomach could jump. You know what I'm saying? Like before they bring you into their house, they got to know everything about you. You know what I'm saying? And this is a very disturbing thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you like a private person, like prison is not for you because they strip you ass naked and they want to see you from the inside out type shit. You know what I'm saying? So this like a butt naked interview for like an hour. No lie. So after they do all that, they take all these pictures of you, right? I mean, they turn your face this way, that way, up, down, arms up and down, stretch them out, lift your balls up, turn around, cough. They want to take pictures of your booty hole, all of that. They taking pictures of every piece of your body. And mind you, all these COs is watching. They just standing around watching. This is all an experiment. You know what I'm saying? So you getting violated to the 10th power. You know what I'm saying? But what can you do? You in their house. You know what I'm saying? So after they do all that, they take pictures of every tattoo you got, wherever you got tattoos at. Before you go in the big house, they take pictures of all of your tattoos. Why you butt naked, right? They overanalyze your whole body. Now they taking pictures of your tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Why they taking pictures of your tattoos? Because as y'all all know, it's guys in prison that tattoo. You know what I'm saying? So if you come in there with just say you only got one tattoo when you come to prison, and then 6 months to a year later, you got 20 tattoos out of nowhere. They gonna be like, man, hell no. You only had one tattoo when you came here. And we got proof of that. We took pictures of it the day you came in here. Now you got 20 tattoos. That's a case. You know what I'm saying? Contraband. So they got to take pictures of all of your tattoos before you go in there. Because if they find out later on down the road that you was getting tattoos in prison, that's a case. And all they got to do is bring back the picture that they took of you when you first came in there. And them tattoos you got now from the time you came in, them new tattoos. So contraband. You know what I'm saying? Easy case for them. So they overanalyze you all the way to the T. You know what I'm saying? So as they do all the pictures of you and everything like that, they ask you a million questions. They go through that whole process, right? After that, they had this big jar. In this jar is a bunch of like toenail clippers, fingernail clippers, shit like that. And it's sitting like a big ass jar of alcohol. They tell you to reach in there, grab a nail clipper. You got to clip all your nails, every last one of them. You got to clip all your toenails. Then you throw the clippers back in the damn jar. You know what I'm saying? That's like the cleaning process of it or whatever, you know. So you got to come in there clean and all of that shit because you can catch something. You know what I'm saying? It's diseases flying around in prison. One of them is called MRSA. MRSA is a well-known disease floating around in prison. MRSA is like COVID in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just some airborne shit that's flying around. And if your immune system ain't strong enough, you gonna catch it and you a COVID patient in prison type shit. You know what I'm saying? So they like advise you to come in there as clean as possible because you can catch MRSA as soon as you come in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you do all that. Now they throw state clothes on you. They give you your state clothes, your state shoes, all of that. So now everything you remember of who you was is gone now. This is your new identity. This is who you is from here on out. From this point all the way into your ERD, which it says on your paperwork, on your discovery packet, after you get sentenced and all of that shit, on it on your discovery packet. They got all the evidence on you, how your case went, your statement, they statement, blah blah. All it is in your discovery packet. So basically, when you get to prison and people get to asking you what you in there for and all of that, you don't got to talk. You could just whip out discovery packet. You know what I'm saying? So that way niggas be like, oh, I heard you snitched on that case. Woo, woo, woo. Just discovery packet. Here you go. Y'all can read the paperwork. I don't got to talk. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the discovery packet is. Anyway, in the discovery packet, it say your ERD, which is your earliest release date. You know what I'm saying? That means that that is the earliest day that you can get out. You will not get out before that day, no matter what happened. Like I said, with the whole R. Kelly situation, you know what I'm saying? He trying to pull his Aryan Nation overdose bullshit to get out of prison. He will not get out until the ERD. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? So in that discovery packet, it say your ERD, right? That's the earliest you gonna get out. Until that day, this is your lifestyle. Whether if your ERD is 6 months from now or 20 years from now, You will not get out of here until that ERD day. And that's not even a guarantee that you're going to get out on that day. That's just the earliest day that you can get out, right? Why you say that, Mr. Roll Up? They gave you an ERD. That's the day you're supposed to get out. No, they just saying that's the earliest you can get out. The parole board can always flop you. You can always catch a case. You know what I'm saying? So they just saying this is the earliest day we can let you go, right? All right. Now we got all that understood. You get your state clothes, you get your duffel bag, your shoes. This your new identity until your ERD. You know what I'm saying? Now you going into quarantine. Jackson quarantine, where I'm from, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. Of course, I'm in Michigan. I'm in Michigan prison. Our Michigan quarantine is Jackson Correctional Facility. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in Jackson for quarantine. You be in quarantine for about 30 days before they send you to the actual prison that you're gonna do your time at. Quarantine is basically like practice. You know how you go to football practice, basketball practice. That's what quarantine is. Quarantine is practice before you go to prison. You know what I'm saying? What you mean by that? Let me get into it. Let me just break this down so y'all can understand how all this shit works. You know what I'm saying? Now, when they bring you in to quarantine, they immediately shoot you to your cell. Your cell is a big, tall ass building. You know what I'm saying? Just say 20 guys come in with you on this day. All 20 of y'all is walking to this quarantine building, right? You get in the building, it's tiers. Y'all know what tiers is? Meaning, just say it's a wall, right? This wall high as hell, tall as hell. It might be like 10 floors up, right? On each floor, it's about maybe 10 cells across, right? So you got one cell here, one cell, one cell, one cell. They all right next to each other, but they blocked off by walls. So just to say, in this one cell is one individual in this one cell, and it's the cell bars. So you got this wall, the back wall, all cement walls. This front wall is where you actually walk out of the cell. That's all you can see. You know what I'm saying? And it's just cell bars. In your cell is the bed, and it's a sink with a toilet attached to it. That's all that's in your cell for quarantine. And your cell about half the size of your bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So this is your space. The sink and the toilet being connected. Basically, if you a freaky nigga, you could be brushing your teeth and taking a piss at the same time. This is how close your sink and your toilet is. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, that's one cell. Now the cell right next to it, the same thing. The cell next to it, the same thing. So just say it's 10 cells across, 10 floors up. They have a staircase that all the inmates walk up to get to their tier. So if you on the third tier, you got to walk up to the third floor, go down, the little walkway to your cell. They break the bars. You go in your cell. They close the bars. Boom. That's your room. And that's all you have. So you don't see nothing but three walls. And then right in front of you, where the cell bar is at, where you come in and go out of, it's a wall right there. You know what I'm saying? So you don't see nothing but walls. Now, here's the flip part of it. You hear everybody. So just say it's 10 cells across, 10 floors up. What's that? 100 inmates. So just say it's 100 inmates in this quarantine block with you. You can't see not one of them. You don't see none of them. You just hear everybody talking from tier to tier, cell to cell. You hear everybody talking all over the place, right? Talking about all type of shit. You hear motherfuckers farting. You know what I'm saying? You hear motherfuckers laughing. You hear toilets flushing. You hear people brushing their teeth. You know what I'm saying? You hear everything. You know, you hear motherfuckers whacking off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear everything. It's nothing but a big ass echo. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. That is hard timing for sure. When they say the hole, that's what quarantine is. Quarantine is the hole. You in a cell by yourself for 23 hours a day. Yeah, you in that cell for 23 hours a day for at least 30 days. You know what I'm saying? This is your practice before you get to prison. You need to already go through being in the whole process before you even get to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like that the way how it's set up is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But with you being in quarantine, here's the flip side of it, right? You in the cell for 23 hours a day, right? They only let you out 1 hour a day to walk around on the yard, talk on the phone, play basketball, breathe some fresh air. You got 1 hour to do that. And then you got to go back into your cell. So with that 1 hour, that's the only time you get to see all of the inmates that you hear talking all damn day while y'all all locked in this damn cement block. You know what I'm saying? This is the time you get to see everybody. You know what I'm saying? After that, turn it back in. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers talking about shit that happened on the yard, shit happened in the child hall, and that's another time. That's another time you get to come out your cell is child time, because of course the child building is in another building. It's not in the same block as quarantine. So they gotta let all the prisoners out and walk you over to the child hall. This is the only time you see the inmates that you doing all of this time with is during the child hall and that 1 hour that you get to come out. The rest of the time, you do not see these guys. You just hear them talking. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy, but everybody know who they talking to. Everybody know what they talking about. It's crazy, but this is prison politics. You know what I'm saying? All right. Also, with that being said, while you in this quarantine, you in this practice mode, they calling you out like every other day. They calling you out. You got to come to the school building. You got to watch these videos about prison. You know what I'm saying? It's a prep. It's a preparation. You know what I'm saying? They got to prep you for this shit before you go in there. It ain't just you get sentenced and you go to prison. Like, no, you got to get prepped for that. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different lifestyle of living, you know? So they calling you out maybe 2, 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of helping burning up your time because they calling you out. You got to watch these videos. They got to talk to you about the do's and don'ts of prison, who to deal with, who not to deal with, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they got to prep you on this shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get sentenced and go to prison. Like, no, you got to be schooled on prison. And that's what I'll be trying to tell y'all, like about these celebrities. Like they don't give a fuck. It ain't no mercy for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you, they gonna get you. They don't care about who you is. And that's what these videos is about, that they want you to watch, that they calling you out for. And they doing it weekly. You know what I'm saying? A couple of days out the week, they calling you out. Yeah, you get to leave your cell for this because you need to watch this. You know what I'm saying? For real. So you're getting called out. You go over to the school building. That help burn up a little time. You get some fresh air. You know, now you get over there. Of course, you in there with all the guys that you in quarantine with. So this is another way for y'all to all link up and see each other again. So you got a couple of different ways that you can see these guys. But when it's time for lockdown, you don't see them. You just hear them. You know what I'm saying? So now here it is. You watching these videos. What's the videos, Mr. Roll Up? Videos would be shit like um, if you walk into your cell and you see a Snickers bar on your bed, Don't touch it. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't tell you is, yeah, don't touch it. But what you do with it after you don't touch it, what you just gonna leave it there? You know what I'm saying? But they don't tell you that. They just tell you don't accept nothing anybody give you. And guys in prison, they know that, these guys watch these videos and all of that. So they know that the guy's gonna come in there and say, no, I'm fine, I'm okay, and things like that. So what these predators in prison to do is they just set the candy on your bed. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going through you because they know you gonna decline, or maybe they did ask you and you did decline. So instead of doing that, they just go ahead and put it on your bed for you. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? And the way how they look at it is if you eat it, the candy, whatever it is that they leave on your bed, if you eat it, now you consider they bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now you their girlfriend. Or now you owe them. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't pay them, they gonna stab your ass. So you watch videos on shit like that, what to do, what to accept, what not to do, things like that, right? Um, and I got something to say about the Snickers thing too, but I'm gonna get to that. But other videos they show you, about fighting, getting stabbed in there, all type of shit. Like they tell you not to gamble. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the quickest way to get stabbed. You know what I'm saying? They show you videos of various things are going on in prison. Watch out for your bunkie because you never know. You could be asleep one day and your bunkie just gets stabbing you up in your sleep. You got to know how to sleep light. You know what I'm saying? Like these videos teach you a lot of shit about prison. So they tell you don't get too comfortable because you ain't at home. Even though this is your home, but you ain't at home. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now you do that. You get the videos in. You learning about prison. You still in quarantine, right? Here it is, 30 days later. I think I was in quarantine for like 27 days, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And boom, they ride you out. Now they found you a prison to go do your time at. You done watched all your videos. They done watched you walking around the yard. They know that you capable of, being on your own, things like that. Boom, now they ride you out to your prison. You know what I'm saying? When they ride you out, what's the process on it? They put your ass back in that paddy wagon again, shackled up again, with a bunch of guys that you was in quarantine with. They all riding out with you. So now you got a little bond with these guys because you spent the last 30 days in quarantine with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, before quarantine, when you rolled out from the county jail to quarantine, you didn't know them. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know them in the county jail. But now that you've been in quarantine with them and you riding out from quarantine to prison, now you know them. So y'all good at this point, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all on the paddy wagon, laughing, joking in the dark, boom, 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 knocking heads, blah, blah. Oh, we good, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know, blah, blah, blah. Like things a lot different now. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all prepped up, y'all ready to go to prison, y'all get the whole process, right? Boom. All right, paddy wagon, pull up to the prison. Where did you go, Mr. Roll Up? They sent me to Adrian Correctional Facility. This the Michigan map. Detroit, like somewhere over here. Adrian, like somewhere over here. You know what I'm saying? They shot me to Adrian. You know what I'm saying? All right, now my time start. I done did the whole quarantine process. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for prison. Here I go. So they send me to my room. Well, on Adrian Yard, I was on level 2. And Michigan prisons, the levels you have. Let me break down the levels real quick. You got level 5, level 4, level 2, and level 1. Where's level 3? They dismissed level 3. I don't know why, but it's no level 3. It's 5, 4, 2, 1. Right? Level 5 is the crazy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The ones that sought that medicine for real, they don't take showers. The Bam Bam situation I told y'all about, that's them. They in level 5. They got to be putting their own consolidation. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't mix and mingle with general population. General population is level 2. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get there. So level 5 is the crazy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna explain how I know about all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you about the level right now, right? So level 5 is all the crazy people. They in their own lane. You know what I'm saying? The only way you gonna get up there with them is if you on that medicine. They on that Mad Dog, that Trazodone, all of that super strong shit. Level 5. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now we got that understood. You got level 4. Level 4 is like all the guys that what can you say? Got big cases, got a lot of time, shit like that. They start them off in level 4s. So if you get sentenced to anything to like 8 years or more, they automatically send you to level 4. Level 4 is just like Jackson Quarantine. You locked in the cell 23 hours a day. But this time around, you in prison now. So now you got to bunk you. You got to do that 23-hour in the cell week. In quarantine, you do it by yourself. But when you go to prison, you got to bunk you now. So things change. You know what I'm saying? This is when all of that raping and, all of that weird shit start happening. This is when that start happening in that level 4. Because them boys, they in that cell together all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It just get a point in time when they clash heads. That's mean. You know what I'm saying? So that's the level 4. Now the way how you get out of a level 4 is you gotta do like, I think it's like 4 years. I think you gotta do like 3 or 4 years in a level 4 without getting in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? If you could do that in a level 4 without getting in no trouble, then they'll bump you down to a level 2, which is where I was at, level 2, right? Now, the level 2 is general population. We get to come outside. We not locked in our cell all day, but we do get locked down throughout the day. But we get time to come outside, be in the day room, shit like that. That's level 2. It's more freedom. You know what I'm saying? Level 1 is like the camp. They call them like the camping grounds. It's not cells. It's open units. So basically, it'll be like 60 beds. You know what I'm saying? One unit, and all the beds is like lined up by each other. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no cell bars or nothing. It's an open floor. It's like a camp for real. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, level 1s they unsecured. Those are the ones that's about to go home. You know what I'm saying? The short timers, they crime wasn't really that bad and shit like that. Them level 1 type of people. The reason why I didn't get to go to level 1 was because I had a violent crime. If you have a violent crime, you can't go to a level 1. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do all my time at level 2 because I had a violent crime. Now level 2 range anywhere from you could be going home today all the way up into life in prison. And level 1s, I think the most time you would have in level 1 is like 3 or 4 years. Anywhere going home today to like 3 or 4 years. But at level 2, it could be going home today up to life in prison. So you run into a lot of different type of guys on level 2 yard, right? So I'm on level 2. It's 3 units in level 2. And 8 on Adrian yard. You got unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. I'm in unit 2. I done told y'all stories about 2 block and all of that wild shit that was going on there. You know what I'm saying? So let me meat and potato that whole little situation. I was getting in a lot of trouble when I first came in there. I was bad as hell. I was gang banging. I was always getting into it with the police. You know what I'm saying? I literally be telling the cops like step in my cell. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only place in prison where they know cameras at. and I'd be getting into it with the police. I tell them like, come step in my cell. I'm about to beat your ass in my cell. You know what I'm saying? Like I was bad as hell. So in prison, it's a thing called tickets. You know what I'm saying? If you in there getting in trouble, they write you tickets. And every time you get tickets, some of them tickets got points. And after you get so many points, it raises your level. So you will fuck around and go to a level 4. If you catch a lot of tickets in level 2, they'll fuck around and shoot your ass to a level 4. You know what I'm saying? So this how it went with me. I hit Adrian Yard, 2 block. I'm getting to know people. Um, I'm getting involved in shit. You know, it was a crazy time zone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm catching a lot of tickets. I'm gang banging. I'm into all type of shit, right? Well, maybe about a year later, they slipped me a letter under my door, right? Because this how they communicate with you. Sometimes they'll call you out. Most of the time they'll slip a note under your door. So I'm in prison, I'm thugging, I'm doing my time, whoop, talking crazy to the police, all type of shit, right? So here I am. I got all these fucking points, and I don't even know that I got all these points, but I done racked up a whole lot of points, right? So with me racking up all these points, they they like, yeah, you know, so what we gonna do is if you catch one more ticket, we gonna send you to a level 4, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? I had like 14 points and like I think like 15 points. They sent you to a level 4. You know what I'm saying? So I was right there. I'm about to get sent to a level 4. So I had to change up everything. I had to grow up. I had to start doing right. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to just get my life together, right? So that's what I did. I started changing. I grew up. I started doing things differently. I started moving accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So this was the change of my life in prison. I didn't change as soon as I came in there. It took time. You know what I'm saying? So I started growing up. I started doing different things. I started being a better man for myself. It wasn't even for the parole board or none of that. This is just for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't want to go to no level 4 and I don't want to make it harder on me. So I need to grow up. So I dropped my flag. I'm not hanging out with the same people. You know, I'm reading certain books. I'm working out more. You know, I'm staying to myself, all of that. Now, as y'all know, in prison, there's cameras everywhere. So they watching your every move. They know the people that you hanging out with. They know who you gang banging with. They know who you passing off knives to, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They know what the fuck going on up in there. Like, little do you know, they know your every move. You know what I'm saying? That's they home. They know your every move. You know, all of this type of stuff, this is what the parole board want to see. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, back to it. Oh, I had forgot to throw this in there because I did mention I was going to speak on this with the whole candy bar situation thing left on your bed. Okay, so this is when I first came in, right? When I first came in, it was a guy right next door to me. His name was Heavy. He was from Flint. You know what I'm saying? Heavy, he like, what's up, bro? Woo, woo, woo. He like, man, I know you a real nigga, blah, 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 blah. Like, he was just talking to me like every day for like a whole week straight. Like, he was like fucking with me like we homies or something. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, next thing I know, I come to my room one day. Maybe I'm probably about 3 or 4 days in, right? I go to my room. It's a damn what was it? Popcorn. I think it was a bag of popcorn sitting on my bed, right? I go in there, I grab this shit. My bunkie came walking in after me. He like, hey man, don't touch it, man. I'm like, no, fuck that. So I go walk out. I walk out the room with it, right? By this time, everybody walking back and forth up the hallway. You know what I'm saying? So all these people walking back and forth up the hallway, right? All these people going back and forth. I said in front of everybody. Anybody that was at Adrian Correctional Facility with me 2012 to 2014, they know I ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? I stood right there in the hallway in front of everybody with the damn popcorn packet in my hand. I'm like, who the fuck put this in my room? You know what I'm saying? I came just like that. Who the fuck put this in my room? Everybody walking past, ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm turning around looking at everybody. I'm like, I ain't playing with none of y'all. I don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking play with me. Ain't nobody said shit. I threw the damn packet up the hallway. The packet slid down the hallway. You know what I'm saying? I went in my cell, right? About an hour later, the nigga Heavy come to my room. He like, yeah, bro, what's up? He like, you got that bag of popcorn? Woo, woo. Like, you got what I sent you? I'm like, you the one that put that shit on my bed? He like, yeah, that was me. I left that for you. Woo, woo. I'm like, look, nigga, don't play with me like that. I don't roll like that. You know what I'm saying? He like, nah, bro, it wasn't nothing like that. He like, I just know you knew. You don't know how it go. Woo, woo. You a cool nigga, so I just left you bag of popcorn, but it wasn't nothing like that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, next time you want to give me something, you hand it to me. You talk to me about it. Don't put nothing on my bed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got that understanding early. You know what I'm saying? Like I did not play that shit, you know, but bro, he was cool, he was solid, he never tried nothing funny. And like I said, he was my next door cellmate, like real talk, next door, you know. So me and him, we never had no problems, nothing. He had money, he was good. He wasn't no funny boy or nothing. I don't know. He just fucked with me and he just wanted to just give me shit, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't never none of that. But I did. I chin checked everybody on my wing. You know what I'm saying? Instantly. Like, so just in case the rest of y'all know, I don't play that shit. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now we got that understood. You know what I'm saying? I was just wild, reckless, all of that shit, right? So when they sent me that letter and said I'm gonna go to level 4, I had to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? I changed up everything. So I grew up. I'm doing everything differently. You know what I'm saying? Now here it is, 2014. You know what I'm saying? I only got a year left to do, and it's time for me to get out. So this is the process I'm making during my time. I'm jailing, you know what I'm saying? I'm institutionalized. I know how everything works. I didn't switched up the tempo. I ain't catching no more tickets. Now it's about time for me to go home. You know what I'm saying? I got a year left. Before you get out of prison, they give you a list of recommendations that you have to do before you get out. My only recommendation was I had to take this class for violent offenders. You know what I'm saying? The class wasn't at the prison I was at. So they had to transfer me to another prison. So fast forward the tape on that, I get transferred to a new prison, right? All right, now I'm at this new prison called Lapeer. Lapeer is like right next to Flint. You know what I'm saying? I go there. Now I'm only a few months left before I go home. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, the shorter your time get, the harder it get. Now, again, until you actually see the parole board, you don't know your actual date. You just got your earliest release date. You know what I'm saying? So now here it is. I'm down to my last couple of months before my ERD. So now it's time for me to take this violent class. I'm in the class now. I got the ball rolling. It's about ready for me to go home. You know what I'm saying? Now at this new prison, the bunkie I have at this new prison was this guy named Junebug. I told y'all about Junebug and how all of that went, right? The nigga was a young nigga like me. He had life in prison, you know. But me and him got locked in. We was dead. That was my dog. You know what I'm saying? Now, this was maybe like a week, 2 weeks before I went to go see the parole board. The parole board comes see you when you get down to your last 6 months before your ERD. You know what I'm saying? So the parole board sent me a letter and said that they will be seeing me, you know, within the next couple of weeks. They tell you what day they're gonna see you, all of that shit, right? Okay, so I know I'm about to see the parole board. Junebug then hooked me in with this Spud Juice traveling shit, and I was with it because he was my dog. You know what I'm saying? Almost jacked my parole, but the guy came through and saved the nigga. You know what I'm saying? So got past that, right? Nah, get past that. I go see the parole board, right? I see the parole board. They reading over all of my paperwork. You know what I'm saying? From the time I was on the streets, what I did out there, to the time I came to prison and how I transitioned. Little did I know, this is what the parole board like to see. I only really transitioned so that I wouldn't go to level 4 because I didn't want that for me. You know what I'm saying? But little did I know that worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm sitting there in front of the parole board, they reading down all my paperwork. And they basically was saying how I changed over the time. And, I'm doing good. And that's what they like to see. So they granted me my parole. But they don't tell you that they're going to grant your parole. They just say, okay, we'll look it over and see how things go, things like that, right? So now you coming back from your parole hearing, you going back to the yard. Everybody asking you how your parole hearing went. Was everything good? Blah, 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 what they say. You be like, yeah, man, I think everything went good. Hopefully I get a parole, blah, 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 things like that. Well, this is about a month after you see the parole board. They slip you a letter under your door. Boom. It's the parole board. They granted you parole. You get out on such and such day. It might be it ain't gonna be before your ERD, my bad. It might be a day after your ERD. It might be on your ERD. It might be a week or two after your ERD. It could be a couple of years after your ERD. It's whatever the parole board decide. So anyway, when the parole board slid me my paperwork and I read my parole, it said that I'd be getting out on my ERD. You know what I'm saying? So that was a blessing, right? Now this is when it get hard. When you get your parole, that let you know the exact day that you getting out, your time get harder. You know what I'm saying? It get harder. And it get harder by the day. The closer you get to your out date, the harder it get. The longer the days get, the worse it get. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like everybody that was rocking with you, they not really fucking with you no more. Because you're not in the same space as them. You about to go home. You know what I'm saying? So now they looking at you different. You don't know if they gonna try and get you behind your back, try and jack your parole, all type of shit. So you got a lot of shit going on after you get this parole paper. And this is why the parole board tell you if they grant you parole, don't let nobody know that you have it because they switch up on you. Because you got to understand, them people in there, they not going nowhere. That's their home. And you get a parole, you basically like slap them in the face. You about to leave them behind. They don't like that. Unfortunately, that's just how it go. So you gotta, keep your parole things with you a secret, or you just gonna have to watch your back until you're out date. You know what I'm saying? So after you get that parole, your time get harder. When I got my parole like in that October. So mind you, I had to do Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all of that. I had to do all of that shit in prison. So my time got harder and harder and harder all through the holidays. But after that, fast forward to tape now. Now it's time for me to get out. Right? Okay. ERD day. You know what I'm saying? Parole day. It's finally time for me to get out. Hardest fucking 5 months of my life. That first 3 years and some change was easy. Now I'm on the last couple of months, hardest time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, because I'm anticipating on so much. I want to do so many things. When I get out, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go here. I'm about to go there. I want to see this person, that person, boo, 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 boo. Every day you just visualizing yourself doing some shit. So it make your time harder because now you know exactly when you're going home. You know what I'm saying? Man, hardest 5 months of my life. You know what I'm saying? But I finally walked it down the morning come. When they release you from prison, they don't let you out at no damn 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? They don't call your name till about 9, 10 a.m. So you sitting there in the unit with all the other inmates, they all crowded around you, shaking hands with you. All right, man. You know, you go out there, you be good, take care of your family, blah blah, stay out of trouble. You know, you getting the whole speech, walk down, all that shit, right? Until they call your name. They call your name, you walk up out of there. Now you sitting in the front office getting ready to get processed out, right? You got your parole, you walked your time down, you stayed out of trouble. Now you about to get out, right? Okay. Now you sitting in this cement block. You still a prisoner until they officially process you out. Even though this is your out date, you're supposed to be a free man on this day. Until they fully process you out, you are still an inmate. So you still in a little cement block. You might be in there for another hour or two for them to process you out. Why do that take so long? I told y'all before, the database is all connected, all across the country. They all got the same database. You know what I'm saying? When they process you out, what they do is it's called a worldwide search. They do a worldwide search on your name. You know what I'm saying? So they contact all these states, cities, all that, see if they got a warrant with you. Boom, they find out you got a warrant somewhere. They contact them. Hey, do you want this guy? Just say we in Michigan, right? And while they doing this worldwide search on you, on your parole release date to get out, they do this worldwide search on you before they let you out, and just say they find a warrant on you in Illinois. They gonna ask Illinois, hey, do y'all want him? They be like, yeah, we want him. You're not getting out. You got paroled and everything. You didn't got sent to the front office to get released and all that. Guess what? Illinois wants you, and they coming to get you. So you leaving Michigan, but you about to go to Illinois. You know what I'm saying? So they got to do this worldwide search on you. All right. I just threw that out there just in case if you do have a warrant somewhere, you're not gonna get out on that day. You know what I'm saying? Is you're gonna have to go to that next jurisdiction. You're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Then you will get out. That's how that works, right? Let's just say you don't got no warrants nowhere else. Okay, so after they do the processing on you, now they finally release you. Now you a free man, right? You did your time, you out now. Cool. You walk out them gates, you people out there waiting on you, hugging you, crying. Everybody so happy you out. You free, right? Okay. Now, you out, throw on some new clothes, you feeling good, all of that shit, right? You out here. You know what I'm saying? You on Facebook, letting everybody know you out. They all in your inbox, dropping their number, hitting me up, blah, 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 blah. You feeling good. You out here, right? But what you fail to realize is you on parole. Oh, let me bag that up a little bit. Before you get processed out, you got to sign a gun law. Yeah. If you want to get out of prison, you have to sign a gun law. Meaning that at no time ever you can possess a gun, especially on parole. If you around a gun on parole, automatic 5 years. But the gun law say that you can't be around a gun at all. So all in all, you looking at an automatic 5 years if you get caught around a gun. That's what this gun law states. If you don't sign the gun law, you don't get released from prison. You know what I'm saying? So you got to sign that gun law. You can't touch a gun no more for the rest of your life. Not until parole is up for the rest of your life. You can't touch another gun. That's the gun law. Not the parole, not what they think, not how they feel. That's the gun law. You know what I'm saying? All right. Nah, you sign the gun law, you get out, you happy, everybody all crowded around you, joy, joy, cheer, cheer. What you forgot is you on parole. You got 24 hours to contact your parole officer. So by tomorrow morning, you can have your fun and everything today, but by tomorrow morning, you better call your PO or you better be down there at the parole office. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you better be down there at the parole office by the next morning. You know what I'm saying? Now you go see your PO. You sitting in this office waiting on your PO for the longest. You finally go in there. They piss test you, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not playing. You can't drink or smoke while you on parole. No exceptions at all. No drinking or smoking. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that understood. They piss test you. They run you through all these questions. Um, they tell you got to get a job. You only got a certain length of time to get a job where they'll violate you for it. Just a lot of ways you can go to jail on parole. You know what I'm saying? So you got to walk down that parole. Your parole might be 2 years. So even after you did that 4 years, now you got another 2 years of parole. So they got 6 years out of you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to walk on eggshells that whole time you on parole, or your ass gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? So that's been the whole process of prison, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all learn something from that. Stay your ass out the way because it's treacherous. You know what I'm saying? And while I was on parole, man, I went to jail so many times on parole. And every time you go to jail on parole, it's a parole violation. That's an automatic 30 days, automatic every time. I violated a good 5, 6 times. So they got a good 6 months out of me just in violations. You know what I'm saying? So don't play with the system, man, because they got ways to break you down. But this is the whole breakdown process of prison, man. You're not a free man until you discharge off parole. So if this ain't the life that you want to go through, stop all that street shit. Stop acting like you cut like that because you're not. They got a way to bring it up out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's been another live stream of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.